one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes to us from WANE 15. Two men with almost the same name were confused for each other during a police investigation. On last Friday, December 5th, an undercover police officer with the Fort Wayne Police Department received messages on a website primarily used by men for anonymous meetings and public sexual acts. According to court documents, a man messaged the undercover officer with explicit photos of children and described exploitative scenarios involving children. The undercover officer was able to obtain the man's location and phone number by using police database. Listen to this information. The data was connected with a man identified as Nathan Ross. Police continued to use phone pings to find the precise address of Ross's home. After conducting a search and obtaining electronic devices as evidence from his home, what they believed was Ross's home, the officers continued to receive pings from Ross's phone. Upon further investigation, there was a second Nathan Ross who lived within a half mile of the other. In the court documents, it says, while conducting the investigation, a communication error was made between detectives, omitting the middle initial differentiating Nathan A. Ross from Nathan P. Ross. The cops were like, we got him, woohoo! Police returned the items to Nathan A. Ross and arrested Nathan P. Ross during a traffic stop. He should sue. Nathan P. Ross admitted to sending the messages and the photographs as well as engaging in sexual acts with a young child. They did not find a child at Ross's home. 44-year-old Nathan Paul Ross was arrested and charged with child exploitation, a level 5 felony, child exploitation aggravating factor, a level 4 felony, possession of child sex abuse material, a level 6 felony, possession of child sex abuse material aggravating factor, a level 5 felony. Now, no court date has been set for Ross's trial. And you know why they do that, right? They say, give all these charges like exploitation, aggravating factor, possession of material, aggravating factor. The reason they do that is so the the district attorney can say to the defense attorney, look, we've got these 6 charges. We'll only charge him with 3, but you have to plead guilty and agree to a year in jail. And then we'll just charge him with 3 instead of 6. Yeah. Instead of instead of just, and sometimes what happens then is the judge will dismiss it or say, you know what, I don't find, because of all these different charges. But I digress. I don't have concern for this guy, though. If it says he admitted to doing this, and if he did this, I have no concern for this guy. Put him away for 20 years as far as I'm concerned. Anybody that harms children, just put them on an island, let them fend for themselves. I'm sorry, how I feel. But did you hear what they said? They went to Nathan A. Ross's home and took stuff, seized things that they thought were involved in the crime, and then returned them to him. That guy should sue for a Fourth Amendment violation of his rights. He should sue. I would. Because, whether they thought it was a crime, he wasn't the criminal, and they took stuff out of his home. They had a search warrant at Nathan A's home, and Nathan P was the guy. But welcome to America. I have always said it. You're not free in this country if law enforcement doesn't want you to be free. If law enforcement says, you're the guy, no, we know you're the guy, you're the guy. And you may not have committed the crime. You may not even been out of your house that night. But if police say you're the guy, you're the guy. That's how it is, man, in America. You have no rights here. Stop saying you have rights in America. We have what we call limited rights. Well, what are the limited? What's the limitation? Law enforcement. They get to set the limitations. Yeah. And just as I'll give you a quick, and I'm done, but I'll give you a quick story here. My father, my mom and dad, always married. I mean, they were separated for a while, but they were never divorced or anything. But had my brother, my sister, and I. My father was never, my mother never went to court for child support. But even when they were separated, they got back together and they were married until the day he died. But, um, but she never filed for child support or anything. But, and his name, was the same as mine, James. They came to the door, knock, 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 and answer the door. Yeah, we're here for James. We're here we have a court order to, I think it was in arrears or something, to collect arrears for child support. My mom laughed and she goes, I have never filed for child support. Well, we have a court order. No. And they started looking through the information and the date of birth was different. And she goes, he wasn't even born. My husband is older than that, but it had the same name as my dad. But when they were going through it, they looked at the date of birth and she said, he's older than that. Like my husband's not that young. Oh, we must have the wrong James. But that's, again, if law enforcement says you're the guy, you're the guy. Yeah. You may not even been out of your house then. But the cops say you're the guy. So you're the guy. We can't be wrong. We're cops. We're never wrong. No, you're just stupid.